I'm Aiden Cash, and let's talk about node policies. So in the August 2022 live stream, node policies were revealed. And basically, every node gets a number of slots to employ policies that are enacted/chosen by the mayor, and then they're voted on by the people within a period of up to 24 hours. And these policies are unlocked via happiness states, which may be affected by world achievements, bosses, buildings, number of citizens staying or leaving in a node, number of houses. Another interesting thing is that sovereigns can actually pass on the benefits of their policies to their vassal nodes as well. Now, before we get to the policies themselves, I kind of wanted to talk about some of the ways that I'm thinking about these game mechanics and what's driving me to speak on them in the way that I do in my videos. And I've kind of boiled it down to generic potential versus specific potential. Now, a game mechanic that has generic potential is, in my mind, something that's non-contextual, is integrated at a root level, and generally has a wider scope and broad applications. Versus specific potential, which is generally more contextual, is integrated at a system level, typically have a narrower scope, but the ways that you can apply specific potential mechanics are creative. So as I'm talking about these policies, maybe think to yourself, like, which of them do you think have generic potential and which of them do you think have specific potential? It's pretty obvious, but it's something to think about, and maybe you could apply this thinking to other things in the game as we know it. So the first policy is Kalar Industry. Node construction and upgrade speed is 10% faster. Next, we have Great Harvest. Increased gathering speed within the node ZOI by 5%. ZOI meaning zone of influence. Then we have Renkai Honorbound. All node-to-node reputation changes are increased by 5%. And last but not least, we have Asylum. Instant citizenship for refugees of a fallen node. Now, in terms of generic potential versus specific potential, the ones with the generic potential are Kalar Industry and Great Harvest. The ones with the specific potential are Renkai Honorbound and Asylum. One's not necessarily better than the other, and I think these four policies clearly illustrate how the policy meta is going to be dynamic in a lot of ways. For instance, at the beginning of the game, I think Kalar Industries is obviously going to be very powerful because people are going to be wanting to develop their nodes as quickly as they can. Once their node is developed and there's, is not necessarily so much going on in terms of construction, maybe you want to switch over to Great Harvest to, get your economy boosted or whatever the case is. Even within those two, Kalar Industry is probably going to fall off as nodes get more and more developed and will come back into favor if nodes fall and need to redevelop. But Great Harvest is one with a lot of generic potential for just at any given time because, 5% more gathering is just always going to be good. Then you move over to Renkai Honorbound and Asylum. Now, Renkai is interesting because I'm not totally sure what exactly the total depth of the systems that node-to-node reputation is affecting. If you know more about that, leave some notes in the comments because I would love to hear about it. But I could see this being a case where maybe your node is developed and it's time to worry more about the political situations or whatever. I'm not sure how that affects the game mechanically just yet, but again, it's a more specific thing. It's not something that I could see always being useful, especially in the earlier development stages. It just seems like a policy that you would need to have specific goals in mind for. And then of course we have Asylum. Now on paper, Asylum may be the weakest of the policies of these four, but I think it has a lot of practical applications, and I think that when the game actually comes out, we might see situations where people actually want their nodes to fall so that they can unlock other content in certain areas, in which case I think we might see some collusion in terms of which nodes go up and which nodes go down, and Asylum might be a really powerful policy in that respect. Anyway, if you got any insights on the topic, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you're not already in here, please join the Strategic Creation Discord because we're talking about creation strategically and we need you there. All right, peace.